When the first blade of light caressed the ruins of the cities, a silence of centuries shuddered like an animal awakening. The colossal creatures, ancient rulers of the world, still stood, titanic shadows against the dawn. Their growls had laid down laws, and their hooves had marked the heartbeat of the earth, while men, small as sparks, murmured prayers to a god who perhaps had never heard them. But that morning, the universe chose to answer. A muffled rumble slid among the stones, a subterranean heartbeat that made the air tremble. Then, a silence so deep it seemed to swallow the sky. The giants halted. In their black eyes shone bewilderment, as if the firmament had spoken a forbidden word. The skin of those colossi split in flashes of inner fire, and without warning they burst apart. Dry bursts, bloodless, only a gray dust swirling in spirals, like the ash of a dream too ancient to be remembered. One after another they fell, not by sword or poison, but by an invisible force. Perhaps the accumulated echo of human supplications across millennia. The streets were blanketed with a warm dust that smelled of ancient stone and promise. When the last roar faded, men stepped out of the shadows. There was no jubilation, only a reverent silence, the awareness of witnessing an ending that did not belong to them. The swine that had ruled the planet had vanished by an incomprehensible design, as though the cosmos had closed a book. In the midst of that drifting dust, minds recalled images they had never seen and yet somehow possessed. Knights tilting at windmills turned to giants, souls whirling in an eternal vortex, fallen angels with blackened wings. They were visions seemingly torn from the illuminated pages of a man who had learned to see beyond his century. No one spoke his name, but the scenes bore the signature of his gaze. Gustave Doré. His engravings seemed to breathe in the ash-laden air. Perhaps in another time, on a fevered night, Doré had dreamed of these colossi and fixed them in ink and paper, as if foreseeing the day when reality itself would fracture in silence. His illustrations of Dante, of biblical falls, of heroes crossing the border between the human and the divine, now pulsed in the collective memory like visual prophecies. Those images were a map for the mind, a reminder that the vastest worlds can fit upon a single sheet. The survivors walked beneath the light of a new sun, feeling as though they moved inside one of those engravings, as if Doré had prepared each line to guide their steps. Among the slowly falling dust, someone thought that the artist had opened a portal more than a century ago, a shortcut so the human imagination could recognize this moment when it arrived. It was a bridge of paper and ink, connecting the impossible with the inevitable. The wind carried the last trace of ash toward the horizon. No giants remained, only the memory of their fall and the visions Doré had once whispered with his burin. And while the technology of the present promised virtual worlds and digital dreams, one question gleamed in every mind. If that visionary had possessed our tools, what universes might he have revealed? Perhaps none. Perhaps all. Perhaps he always knew that the true universe is not in the machines, but in the spark that ignites when a human eye, facing the night, dares to imagine.